can't believe your personality type changed. Like for the MBTI, I'm pretty sure it says on 16 personalities, and the Myers-Briggs, they always say, oh no, your personality type can't change. But it's kind of confusing because they also say, oh, but your personality can change. But yeah, well, I guess you're going to tell us about the first time you took the test. Like
Okay,
when you
yeah.
did it,
The first time I took the test was last year. And you're the one who recommended it to me as well.
I don't even remember that. I remember very little from last year, I feel like.
Last year, I think it was last year or the end of 2023. It's around that. Or like the very, very beginning of 2024. So it's been 1.5 years, I guess, right?
Yeah, over a year at least.
Yeah. And I got, the type I got was ENTJ.
Okay.
And I was like, when I got the results, I was like, that's not me. That sounds so wrong, because ENTJ is supposed to be like the logical one,
like logic, right? Like the commander type.
The commander type, logical one, strategic, and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like I can be a group leader if I want to. If
like
people,
it?
No,
yeah,
I don't enjoy it. But like if I have to, then I can. But I don't think the other like personality traits doesn't really suits me. And then I took it again this year because I was curious, right? Like literally.
You're curious because we were gonna do this episode.
Yeah, because I think it's really interesting. And then I took it again, and I got the same as yours.
Which is
INFJ.
With a T at the end.
With a T in the end, obviously. We are the overthinker ones, but like. And when I look at all the personalities and everything, I was like, yeah, this is more me. It
feels more like you.
Yeah, it's more like me, because like the ENTJ doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, INFJ is a funny one. So I guess what's interesting in this episode is that we're talking about how yours changed, but mine hasn't.
Yeah, yours is the same, right?
The percentages have fluctuated between the last time I took it and when I took it literally last week. But even the very first time I took it, I think I was like 16, 17.
Okay. Oh, when you're 16.
16
that's
or
the first
17,
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
wait, this is your second test?
This is my third test.
Oh, your
I took it for a
test.
Third time.
Oh.
Okay, just so we could talk about it.
You took it for
because obviously you took
first.
yours.
Yeah.
And it changed. So I was like, maybe. I mean, the last time I took it, it was 2020. I got INFJ again. So basically, every time I've taken the test, I've always gotten the same result. It's just the percentages have maybe fluctuated.
Oh.
I think the first time I took it, they didn't have that A or T.
Oh, okay. But the second one,
this is still the 16 personalities thing. Yeah, and the time I took in 2020, you could get a full report, and like now it doesn't. You have to pay for that, right?
Yeah, I don't think I can get full report even last year.
Yeah, I remember discussing this with my friends. But I did it the very first time I did it. It's probably because it was like a trend amongst my friends, and then we would just talk about it. And then in 2020, I had another friend who basically asked me about it, so then I did it again, and it was like, oh, it's the same, and I just talked with my friend about it. Seems like every time I do it, it's just to talk with my friends about it. This time it's you. But yeah, I took it, and yeah, I got the same result, but the percentages all changed except for one. So between 2020 and now, the introversion score is exactly the same. It's 65%.
Wow.
But do you want to talk through your results first? Because yours
my
are
result
probably
first.
more interesting.
Unfortunately, I don't have my result from like last year.
Oh, okay.
And we don't really talk about it last year, right? I remember I told you I took the test and I was like, but I got ENTJ. That's like, why E? I was like, extroverted. I keep like thinking, why do I get E instead of I?
Right? Because you said you answered things a bit more like situationally.
On that day, yeah, like just according my feeling that day, I guess, because I don't know, maybe that year, like last year or like like the past few years, I been like exposed with a really, really, really like a massive trauma that I don't really want to talk about too deeply, because like we want to make this still fun, right?
Yeah.
But like it's probably because of that like I feel like the way I answer questions just like
Was a bit different.
a bit different at that time, because I feel like at that time I was like, I just want to go out and meet a lot of people. You know this because you're the one who I talked to when I was like, I just want to make a lot of new friends and go to like whatever where I can meet people, like new people and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That's probably like how I answered the question is like just based on like that year, what happened on that year.
So what you were feeling in that moment of taking the test. So if you'd taken that test like
maybe like a few years back before that big trauma happened,
it might be the same.
It's probably
like
the same because like literally it's more resonates with myself, I guess, like all the like when I read it more, because I don't really like when I get the result last year, I don't really like go deep into it. But then this year, this time I was like, nah, this is more like me.
That's good.
I'm definitely not ENTJ. No.
I mean, ENTJ and INFJ is quite a big difference.
Different, right?
I think they say like the hang on, I'm just trying to think of all the letters in my head, but not the E and I necessarily, because like you said, you were just going out meeting more people, and you probably felt you were being more extroverted
at that time.
like
yeah.
T and
T is F is feeling, right?
So it's the T and F that changed for you, right? You went from T to an F.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went from thinking to feeling.
Yeah.
That's one that's like quite a big change.
Yeah.
But even though the like websites kind of say, it's the personality type doesn't change, like people's personalities do adapt. So that's why the percentages will probably fluctuate. And maybe if you, I don't know, I always think, maybe if you're like in that 50% something, like between 50-60, you might edge over to the other side.
Probably, yeah.
So, I mean, why don't we look at we can compare our percentages as well.
Okay.
So, I've got my old and my new, because I dug up my old one. So
No, I can't find my old one. I don't know why. It's so sad.
Well, for my old one, so I always said introversion 65%. It used to be 65 still. So,
Is this the one from last year, right? Not from when you took it when you're 16, you said?
No, I don't have the results from that. I didn't save that to my email. I saved it in, not last year, 2020. So this is like 2020 to
okay.
now.
So it's actually been 5 years then.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know why, but I was thinking it was 3 years. I thought we were in 2023, and then
I thought 2020 is last year. Come on, like why is it like 5 years?
Why do you think 2020 is last year?
No, Phil, I'm sorry. I can't, like, the perception, like time perception in my head is just like, it's messed up right now.
No, I feel you on that. But then N, so is that the intuition one?
Yeah.
I had 62% in 2020, and that's 74%.
Oh, wow. 62 to 74?
Yeah, to 74.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that one has like increased. What's your percentage for that one?
For the introverted, I got like 63%.
Okay, we're pretty similar there.
Yeah.
And then your N?
My N is 70%.
70, okay. So
it's like less than yours still, right?
Currently.
Yeah,
More than what it used to be.
Yeah.
More than what I used to be.
Yeah.
A little bit less. What about F?
The F, I'm like 57.
57.
Yeah.
It used to be 72, and now it's gone down to 60.
Wow. This is probably why, because like,
but this is the one that changed.
I get T last year, right? And this one is F, so it's like 57. Maybe last year I was like just 50 or something. Yeah.
But it's still kind of like a big change, because it's jumped by like, say like at least 8%.
Yeah, but I mean, it's possible then, I guess.
Yeah. What about your J?
My J is 57%.
So my J used to be 75.
Wow.
How old
wow.
It's currently, this time, 93.
What the?
Apparently, I've just gotten more neat, freaky, organized, must plan every detail.
Oh my god.
Which is ironic, because I actually feel like, like I've been having kind of a existential crisis. No, I've been trying to be more like flexible with things, right, and trying to be more spontaneous, but my resources basically
it's still
saying
90%.
No, you're not very good at that.
90% is crazy. Is that 90? Did you say 90?
93.
93.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then
I
guess
have no words. 93.
I mean,
Almost 100%.
It's not a big deal. I mean, I did answer more like extremely this time, I feel like. Because in 2020, I answered some stuff like neutral or like if I agreed with stuff, I never strongly agreed. But this time doing it, I was
you
like,
always get like strongly agree.
not like always, but I definitely had more questions where I was like, oh, yeah, I strongly agree with this. But I feel like in 2020, I don't remember strongly agreeing with many things. I just kind of a bit wishy-washy, you know. But yeah, what about your turbulent?
My turbulent is like 78%.
This one is where you're definitely higher than me. It used to be 57%.
Oh wow.
And it's decreased by 1%. Now it's 56%.
57 is actually quite low. Are you sure your turbulent is only 57?
Excuse
56?
me.
Because like literally we are both like a very anxious and we overthink a lot.
But sorry,
you know,
not to like out you, but sometimes I do feel like I have that. I don't know if it's the environment that I grew up in, but like middle child syndrome and stuff. I just have to pull my head out of my butt sometimes and be like, okay, Katy, just be logical about this.
Yeah, I need someone to like slap me out of it. Sometimes.
And I also have times where I can feel a bit of self-confidence come through, where I do feel more assured about like my thoughts or what I'm doing. But then sometimes it's like on my bad days it will be, you know. But I feel like sometimes when we're talking, Lala.
You think I'm worse than you?
Sometimes. I feel like when we're both in like that
stressful
situation. Maybe not like last year, because I think last year was probably one of the most difficult times for me emotionally. But generally, I'm able to rationalize my overthinking.
Yeah, I feel like I need someone to help me to do that sometimes, a lot of
These
times.
days it happens to be me, I think. But I'm like,
because you live with me, I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry. I don't mind, because I get it, because I obviously also, you know, my brain goes to weird places as well. But because I've gotten used to having to do that for myself. But now I also have people around me who will help me be a bit more logical. But like, I don't know. I feel like because I have a similar tendency to you, it's easier for me. And then I feel like a hypocrite anyway, because I'm like, I definitely would.
Yeah, because we talk about this a lot, right?
And the danger is if I'm in a bad mood and you ask me about like, you know, like if you come to me with your overthinking, I'm just gonna add to your overthinking if I'm in a bad mental space. But if I'm mostly normal, then I can usually give you a different perspective, or be like, maybe it's like this instead, or maybe you can consider that. But then I also overthink myself, because I'm like, maybe she doesn't want advice, maybe she just wants me to listen. So I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
No, seriously, I always think like that as well, you know, like, because we overthink everything, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes, although some people actually say that I give a really good advice, but I just cannot apply it to myself.
You're a bigger hypocrite than me. You
know, I know.
I actually sometimes take my own advice.
I know. I'm just like, people told me this, like, I don't know why this is happening to me.
I guess that's what they talk about, like that innate, like you're really good at helping other people. Maybe it's that kind of feeling of like you always want to help other people, you kind of forget maybe you need help as well. You kind of get like that tunnel vision. But yeah, I get it. I think maybe like we'd be terrible partners for each other, basically. You know, I think we make great friends, because we can like empathize a lot. But then when we're overly empathetic, or we overly like overthink everything,
we need someone that is like opposite us, I guess, on that manner, on that side.
Oh, my partner is INTJ.
You cannot be,
so they're a thinker.
Yeah, but you cannot be like partner with like someone who also like overthink everything, right? And the turbulent, it's like
they're an A. My partner's an A.
Like
but
me.
like, you know,
there's going to be a disaster.
So I don't know. I'm sure there's like two INFJTs hanging out, and it's fine. I think even now, even though we have like apparently the same personality type, I think there's a lot of things we would have a different
opinion
on. Yeah, and that's just because of maybe our own life experiences.
Yeah, or the way we raised, like, right?
There's lots of other
parents'
factors.
value and stuff
I think
like
that's
that.
what they must mean by how your innate personality type doesn't change, but your personality will fluctuate.
Definitely, I think definitely external factors will, like, it will impact you, right? The test, anyway.
Definitely.
The time.
And you know, everyone, there's that whole thing of like social desirability. Like lots of people might be answering it.
They want to be likable. Like, I don't know, like.
You know, what if you're doing like the test in a group setting? You don't want to answer.
Yeah, you don't want to be like the one who's
like,
oh, you're weird. Yeah, I know, right?
No, but I mean, okay, let's move on to looking at some. Well, you found a really interesting article.
The article,
so let's
okay.
Look at that. Yeah, so let's have a look at this article you found on introvertdear.
Yeah.
.com, and it's like written by Alexandra Giardina. I hope I've totally butchered someone's name. I'm so sorry. But it's like 16 signs you're an INFJ. And then they put the world's rarest personality type. Okay, before we get into this, I just want to say, are they rare? I swear everywhere I look, it's like someone's telling me they're an INFJ anyway. So I was like, oh, I always get excited when I meet one, but I feel like our INFJ is just really loud about the fact that INFJ.
Apparently, yeah, maybe, because apparently it says like here that it's just 2% of the world's entire population.
Okay, it's a really loud 2%.
I know. It's probably just because INFJ. Yeah,
we're also.
I don't know.
The irony is that we're also here now making an episode
two of
about
us
being
like
INFJ. So hello, another part of that apparent 2%.
I don't know. We have to probably do more research on it, but I'm like, we can just accept it as it is now. That we are probably rare.
Let's look through it, because even though you know we're both like this type, I'm sure we'll have certain things we resonate more or less with, because you know this is 16 different things. Are we going to agree with all of it?
We'll see.
But yeah, why don't we just jump in with like, I don't know, I'm not going to do them in order. I just want to talk about the one that like definitely stood out to me when I read this article.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first? 6.
You know, when it was like... So number 6 says, INFJs are true introverts, yet people not very close to them believe them to be extroverts.
Yep. Totally.
Probably us putting ourselves on the internet and talking like this, people are going to think, really? You guys are introverts?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I swear, at my old job, my boss believed so strongly that I'm extrovert. And I said, no. Yeah. Even my like colleague back in France was like, really? You're introvert? And I'm just like, I think people just think introvert means, you can't talk to people.
You don't like socializing with people, right?
But I'm fine with that. So I had a job in a takeaway growing up. You have to be able to socialize and speak to people.
You have to be able to talk to people.
But when I first started, I was so nervous and I was so bad at speaking to like customers, but they are so nice. And through that, it just became easier and easier to talk to people. You learn to navigate that. And then once I got to university, it was sort of, you know, you're in a social setting. So if I'm at a party, I can be sociable. I can talk to people.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fine. But I'm losing energy as we speak, okay?
Yeah.
Like, once the party's over, I could go hibernate at home for 2 weeks. I could not go out for 2 weeks and be absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people who really, really knows me, they will know that I'm more introverted than extroverted. Because, like, obviously, if they ask me, oh, do you want to do this or go, like, to this event with us and everything, I'll be like, maybe, but I'll be like, nah, as well. But
you say maybe. I'm just, if I don't want to go, I will just be honest, because I also don't want to mess around with people's plans, right? I won't be like maybe and then want to back out.
Yeah, but most of the time I'm going to say no in the end. But like, once I move to Japan, everyone in Japan will think I'm extroverted, because like, obviously I am in a new like situation when I have to like, I feel like I have to put myself out there to make friends, right? If not, I'm not going to be able to do anything, like literally.
maybe that's what they mean about like when it's kind of situational, or like they talk about non-dominant traits kind of coming forward a bit because your environment changes. Because when I got to university, I also just went, I had this brief period of FOMO where I went out a lot more.
I never have that.
Did like society stuff and met up with friends as much as possible. And then by second year, I started saying no to things. I was like, nah, I don't really care.
No, I don't really have like a FOMO thing, but like I remember like once I moved to Japan, I feel like my personality is it's changed quite a bit because of like, you know, I just feel like if I don't make friends, if I don't go and like socialize with people, how am I supposed to learn the language and stuff as well?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so people in Japan probably like, especially like people like at my office, the one who work with me, they will never think I'm like an introvert.
Yeah, job like
because I can socialize
right?
quite,
because you have clients and then you have your colleagues and you have to be able to communicate and talk well. Like it was the same working in the takeaway with customers, but every job I've had since then, it's like I prefer to work alone if I'm being honest, but then I also enjoy.
I still prefer to be alone, like work alone as well.
I enjoy having colleagues as well. It's kind of weird, but like because of when I had my first like office job, it was like after COVID, so I did mostly remote work. So once a month I'd be in the office. That was so perfect for me because I got like my fix of being sociable. Yeah. But most of the time I just work from home. I just log in for morning meeting, do my socializing then. Maybe there's meetings throughout the day.
Yeah, no, seriously, that is perfect. That sounds really, really, really great.
It's less of that now. Companies are trying to roll back.
I know, it's so sad because like literally I don't mind socializing with people. I can do it very well, but I still prefer to work alone.
Yeah.
Not because like they drain, because I don't think people drain my energy. It's just like I still feel like doing everything alone is just like it's more peaceful. It's easier.
That's actually number 8.
No drama.
Yeah, it's number 8 of the article. It's like INFJs tend to keep a small circle of friends and prefer to work alone.
Yeah.
I definitely prefer to work. I can work in a team if I have to, but at university, I literally dropped courses because I saw that you had to do a group project for the final exam.
I know I'm not that bad. I can still do group projects.
I had was in my first year because it was compulsory. But if it was not compulsory, I wasn't doing it.
No, yeah, I think group project can be very, very fun if you can choose who's you're working with, because that happened to me once, like for one of group project at school in Japan, and then I was the leader, so I can choose whatever I want like to work with, and it was actually we won an award that time. So it's like group project can be fun.
It can be. It really depends on the people you're working
yeah, exactly.
with. So, you know, that's why I say like, I did like at my work having colleagues and like working with them. It was so much fun because, I mean, most of my team back then, I think, were extrovert. My boss is definitely an extrovert. My manager's an extrovert. And I was just like, everyone's so tiring. But it made me like more... They made it more fun, basically, and they never made me feel uncomfortable. Maybe they never realized that, you know, I'm super introverted because they just say, you know, Katy is so chatty.
Yeah, she's probably extroverted as well, right?
Sociable. Like she's always got a story to tell. I'm like, but these are the things that, like, I always have a story to tell because I'm just like, people seem to expect to like fill the silence. A lot of people just like to make small talk, and I'm like, please. Okay, so I've mastered the art of small talk, but really most of the time, like, I would just prefer some silence. You said to me you thought that I must like small talk because when we hang out, like, I'm always talking to you, but that's because you'll make a comment and then I'll reply and then I'll think of something. So I'm like, I guess we're doing this, and all our talks end up kind of deep anyway. I don't know why, but this just happens.
It's always like start with a small talk and then like I don't know, we just like talk.
Yeah, we started talking about what are you gonna have for lunch, or like, oh look, the weather looks nice today because we're so British, and then suddenly we start talking about
like food culture.
Yeah, or like I don't know, we just talk about like really random deep talk.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, I feel like I don't mind doing small talk as well. Like when you have to socialize with people, I don't mind really.
Well,
I don't prefer it, but like
not share too much about myself.
Yeah, but I feel like it's better than like if we like just be there in silence, because that will be more awkward for me. That's probably
you
what
prefer silence?
No. I will prefer I'm going to talk, because I think I talk more when I'm nervous.
Oh, if I'm expected to talk and I'm nervous, yes, I can't stop talking.
I will talk more.
I start rambling.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not talking, I'm rambling. But, you know, if I'm hanging out with people, I don't mind if there's periods of silence. But I know I have some friends who hate silence.
Yeah, depends on like who you're hanging out with, right? I guess if it's like you're a partner, silence, you play game, the other person play game, that's fine. But like if you only like meeting this person like, I don't know, once in a year,
that's different. That's completely different. Why would you don't see them for a year, you meet up and just sit in silence? That would be, why are you meeting up with them?
I don't think I will not stop talking.
Yeah, but that's not like being nervous when you're meeting someone you haven't seen in a year. Sometimes you might be nervous depending who it is. But if it's like an old friend, for example.
I'm talking about like the nervous bit is like when you're like in a new social situation, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe that's
when you have to socialize, like for work, for example. Then I don't mind. I will ramble about like weird, like not weird, like just the most random thing, like arashi. Because they obviously, when Japan, they're going to start asking about like, why are you in Japan? And I'm just gonna be like arashi.
Well, that's good, because you had like a specific topic you always default to. I always had to just play it by ear and see what the situation was and be like, oh, this person likes this. Let's talk about this. And just try and get them basically try and introduce a topic that will get someone else talking more. And then I can, when they're feeling the silence, then I can be like, oh, phew. I'll just listen.
Okay, next one, I want to talk about number 10.
10, okay. Ooh.
It's INFJs are typically high achievers and are people pleasers.
Is that just another word for doormat? Because I've been feeling that recently.
Please don't, no.
I'm joking.
The people pleaser is like, it really, really, right? Yeah. You and me both.
Hard time saying no, right?
I am a people pleaser, like literally. No, I don't really want to talk about this too much, but like, yes, I am.
This is one of the ones. And we're definitely high achievers. So we said we were going to do this podcast just for fun, but for some reason, Lala brought out all this audio equipment.
And you like literally just put like all the marketing knowledge in it as well. Like, I thought we were just going to post, I thought we were just going to post this for fun. And you're like, no, we have to be strategic. We're like,
well, okay. I don't even have strategic. So this isn't even, perfectionist scale. I'm just like, oh, let's just do this way, even though it's not good for the algorithm, because I'm like, we're just doing it for fun, right? But if you wanted to be like, I want to learn, so I am like literally doing like course for like digital marketing right now. So this is really fun, because like everything you told me, it's like just like whatever I learn in my course as well. That it matches, because could you imagine I tell you one thing and
I'm like, wait a minute, this is not what you told me.
You're like, Katy's lying to me. Well, her knowledge is so out of date.
No, I don't think that's the case.
Well, okay. Yeah, well, let's not focus on that too much.
No,
just
because
know that we are both very much people pleasers.
But we are very much people pleasers.
I learned to say no a bit more these days. Just these days.
I guess after that trauma that I talk about, like that happened a few years back, I try so much to like, okay, this is my life, I have to like do everything for me for once, kind of thing.
That's really important.
Yeah.
I remind myself of that, but even sometimes like I'm stressing out about other people's what's going on in their lives, and I'm like, oh, I should plan. I think it's because I grew up like planning my schedule around other people's schedule, if that makes sense.
That is not good, right?
So now my default is to be like, I want to go on holiday this week, but will I need to, am I doing something with Lala, or will I need to go do something with someone else at that time? And I just I don't know why, and no one's asked that of me, but my default is just like,
you always think about other people first. Yeah, I get it.
It's not good. It's not a good thing.
It is not a good thing. You have to prioritize yourself.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not here to
once.
lecture on that, especially that would make us hypocrites.
Yeah, I
even
know.
more.
Okay, next. I think number 11. Right?
Yes, I'm looking at that right now. as well.
INFJs are gifted in language and are often creative writers.
Well, if you checked out our first episode, you'll know.
Yeah, because we talk about language
Yeah,
already.
I don't know
now.
why. We'll probably have more stuff on languages coming out, but you know, I'd never really thought of it that way.
Yeah.
I guess it does come down to personality because you need to have a sort of determination or a desire to learn languages as well.
Yeah.
Even though
Because
last
it's not
night
really
I
easy.
literally freaked out about Japanese,
Japanese.
and why is it challenging me in ways that other languages have
Okay,
not?
no. We can talk about that like next time on a new topic.
Yeah, just let me collect all of these little things that have been getting on my nerves recently about Japanese. It's like at the start it was
We should talk
awful
about it
anyway.
actually. It will be very, very interesting because it's always very, very fun.
What else is there? Let's pick out one more, I think we've got time for one more.
Okay, which one? I think I already read the one that I want to talk about. It's that 2 stuff.
Oh, how about number 16?
16. What is number 16?
INFJs seek lifelong true blue relationships.
Wait, what is a true blue relationship supposed to mean?
Like, well, true blue is like do we call it idiom? Like, it just means like, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna see it through to the end.
So like,
Why are you asking me hard questions about language right now, Lala?
because I never really.
Let me give you the definition
What
of
is
true
a true blue?
Because as a native English, I instinctively know what it's saying, but I don't know how to describe it to you. True blue meaning unwavering in one's commitment, extremely loyal.
Oh,
If you're gonna start that
we-
relationship, you're gonna keep that.
That's the thing though, right? Because like I
unless
don't
they
have like
betray you.
many access because I don't really because in my head if I'm going to be like in a relationship with someone, I want it to be very.
So just like if you were dating but nothing was defined, you wouldn't count that as a relationship.
No,
right?
of course not. It's just dating, right? It's just like I don't know, friends with the benefits and things. But okay, just dating. It's not relationship, but it will take me a while to want to be like in relationship with someone because I have to be sure that I want to be with. Because once I'm committed, I'll be like, no.
I'll take it a step further. I guess as like for me, my previous crushes and my relationships have always been people I had like a friendship of some kind for some period of time. I've got to know them as friends first. So I already know it's like, I have a good connection with them, and then maybe something happens along the way that means like I develop romantic feelings, but I would never act on that unless I'm like we're on the same page and we're both in it for the long term. I've never had like short flings or anything like that. I've only ever had serious like relationships.
Yeah, so this is like correct then, right? So
yeah, I think this one does.
It was a relationship.
I mean, in terms of friendships, I just acknowledge that some friendships like will come and go. If we're talking about romantic relationship, but even with friendships, there are some that I feel in my heart that I'm like, these are people. Even if I don't see them for 5 years, we'll reunite in 5 years, and it will just pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this one's really true. I think this one fits for INFJ.
It fits me.
Personality type. Okay, so that's all for today's episode and our MBTI results. We're going to get to filming part 2 of this topic, where we basically debate the same questions from the BTS MBTI lap video,
including the controversial Perilla leave question.
Stay tuned.
Thank you for watching.
For listening.